of it all, we'll now end it with DigiU itself. So DigiU as a process, we'll be talking about that, and it promises to be, very educating one. So why not engage your partners? Let's do more of that within the next 2 minutes. We'll be aggressively talking about DigiU as a process and DigiU as the solution. So that means today I'll be talking more, starting with the problem. What are the problems that we really are facing, and why is this solution important? And what is this organization that provides such solution? That is why, or that's how we are going to understand the importance of DigiU. As I'm talking to you right now, there are partners chatting me for payment and all those stuff for cancel packages. But while we have to do and still go back to that afterward, is because our focus is on the bigger picture, not just about sales, but far more importantly, about why we are here. You see, it's easier to say you're buying shares, you're doing all those things. But beyond that, why are you buying? You understand? So we need to really understand all of these things. And that is why today we are here again. So, okay, I would expect everyone else to continue pushing and informing their partners while I kickstart the meeting. So let's talk about the problem. So I was saying earlier, the world today, we already know that there is chaos. There is chaos, or let me say there is pandemonium and problems here and there across the world. You can talk about the war between Iran and USA and how it's affecting Nigeria when it comes to fuel price, and other African countries likewise, because this is a global issue anyway. You can talk about how it's going to even influence fertilizer supply, because it's not just about petrol. It's not just about, because the pathways by which they are supposed to pass through Iran affect the distribution of fuel. That's why price is being affected. Also affect the distribution of product, foods, and all those stuffs. And it affects your house rent if you are renting. It affects the payment of school fees, because every other person will eventually have to keep on increasing it. And if you have children or students in schools, it affects you likewise. And at the end of the day, why I am talking about this as an highlight, after all, the war will not continue forever, right? Why I'm talking about it is because, look, whether we like it or not, you cannot continue to put your faith in the hands of the globalist. You cannot continue to put the fate of your financial status, or let me say financial status quo, to the hands of whatever happened in the global ecosystem. No, you have to change the dynamics. Why? Because if you base it on that, that means you yourself cannot control anything that happens to you. You follow the dictates of whatever happens. You are living on chance. You are more or less like someone gambling on a daily basis. And that is not the way to go. In fact, if you continue this way, I can only wonder how long you are going to survive that way. So why not talk about a better way, a better approach? Now, I've just highlighted one of the problems. Now let's look at another, which is even more individualistic to you. You know, I started from the global stuff. I don't want to talk about the national problems because it is unique to different countries. So I'll just jump to the individual problem. Now, when you look at it yourself, you cannot work forever. That's just tell yourself the truth. You face the facts. You can't work forever. No matter that job, no matter how easy it is, even if your physical energy can still suffice to do that job, your brain capacity and your interest in devoting time and everything to any job at all, as you age, it declines. That is just a fact. That is why you see even pastors do retire or resign at some point in time, even as easy as the fact that they can sit down and preach the gospel. So what are we trying to say? You need to understand that there are only two ways to earn income, and these two ways is either through your sweat or your assets. Now, if you rely on your sweat at a certain age, if you're working for a government at a certain age, you have to retire. I think in Nigeria, that is around 60 years. Globally, it is similar to that of Nigeria, but maybe there can be a little slight changes in some areas. So apart from this government retirement stuff, if you are doing your personal business as well, there is so much you can do when you get to 60 plus. You are already too tired to run a lot of activities, and then from 70 years and thereabouts, the more you stress yourself, the more your health tells you. So here is what happens. You would say, for instance, we have the Nigerian leader who is at 80 years and still the president and all that stuff. You could say that of Cameroon. You could say that of some other regions as well. However, you need to look at their work efficiency. And if you want to talk about presidency, you know that that is just a single position, a single office that not everyone would occupy. So you have to now tell yourself the truth regarding what is more realistic to the general populace. That in this case, there is so much you can do when you get to that age. So how do you then solve the problem? You talk about assets. You talk about assets. How you solve the problem of the globalist, you talk about assets as well. And so why do you have to talk about assets? Because our economy globally is built around capitalism. Even if you are from a country that focuses on the other means of economy, like maybe you talk about communist society, where they depend on government owning things and everybody being equal, having equal access and all those stuff. Even in such countries, there are oligarchs, there are capitalists, there are owners of one firm, one business, one activity or the other. So you cannot run away from capitalism, no matter the system that you are operating with, even in China. So how do we then follow this through? The best way to go about it is to tell yourself that if the world is running on the capitalism economy, where the owner takes the largest chunk, if you are the owner of the business and someone is working for you, the income that comes in, the owner takes the largest chunk. The employee takes whatever percent you choose to give, is at your mercy. So how then do we solve it? If you talk about owning personal business, you are still referring to your energy, because many people cannot really separate assets from business. You see, assets is usually something that you contribute zero energy, zero input to. It just gives you the income, at leisure. Take, for instance, maybe you have a house you're using for rentage and all that stuff. It's an asset, right? Because you just need a phone call and then your income can come to you. Or you can run a system of agency where an agent runs it for you. You just get your pay. So there are different of such asset class that also looks like business, but they might be an asset. However, there's still a problem with this one that you are talking about. Why? Because Oftentimes, what people call such assets, they are localized assets. They are based on a particular geography. And so I am itemizing all this problem for you because we are getting somewhere. Like I told you today, that we will be discussing DigiU as a process and then as a solution. Before we now talk about DigiU as a product. So this process, I have to, highlight the problems that this process has come to solve. Then you look at the solution and you understand the process automatically. So when we're talking about it, think of when you have your personal business, even if you're selling tomato at the roadside, because you are localized and it is a particular geographic location, it therefore means that your demand comes from this set of area. And so your income is determined by the flock of people within those regions. If it's a very dispersed settlement where there are not much people and all those stuff, it determines the level of your income. So in the same way, when we talk about a business that is running on a global scale, even if there are global issues such as the COVID-19 and survive the COVID-19. I will be talking about that once we get to DigiU.
I think Mr. Marvelous's network has pushed him out of this call. Okay, it's coming back. Marvelous, your audio is, we are not having audio. If I don't know if you are trying to say something. You are not audible. Okay, everyone, let's just continue while we wait for Mr. Marvelous to join back. I'm very sure the internet is not really doing well. So let me continue from where he stopped. I know he talked about the process, trying to help us appreciate what DigiU, is coming to, or is the gap DigiU is filling, as an organization. I hope I'm audible. Please, if you can hear me, please just do plus in the comment section, please. So, thank you, sir. All right, good. So the process, DigiU has come to fill a gap. You and I know that the world we are in right now is the world of technology, okay? And anything that has to do with technological innovation is the asset that anyone can bank upon. And I can tell you for free that countries all over the world right now, even in the aspect of finance, if we talk about finance, talk about other aspects of life, everything is moving towards or via technology. And so you see United States of America, you see Russia, and all the world powers, they do not joke with technology. And that is what DigiU is specialized in. And if you look at the definition of DigiU, generally, so some of us who have joined the ecosystem for some years now, it's normal. You understand what DigiU stands for, and I see DigiU as a company that is standing on a tripod. A camera is being carried by the tripod, and the tripod has 3 legs. And this is where I say it, that DigiU is standing on what we call artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and any other modern technology. Or do I put it this way, venture capital and any other modern technologies. And so this helps you to appreciate the fact that the whole world in the area of finance or any other aspect, you talk about these 3 things. In fact, and the third one especially, which is venture capital, is a security, a major security for any investor. You've a venture capitalist, is not just a fellow who looks after just one investment. It's a fellow who ventures. That means he invests and partners with other strategic, business people. So there's this strategic partnership that DigiU, engages in, that helps DigiU to be soaring high in the journey that they started since 2019, and they are still on today. So many projects have come and have gone. In fact, some have not even gone, but you cannot trace their records. They are not standing the test of time. Why? Because of their model. So this model that DigiU has come up with is working. Some of us can attest to that. Why? Because we have seen them, we have seen the years they started, what they have done so far, the progresses they've made, different things they have ventured into, apart from the major 2 that I said initially, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology. But this other aspect that helps them to partner with other projects gives major confidence that all their eggs are not in just one. So for this, you see the process that DigiU is following, makes you to have trust that your funding, at DigiU is not a waste, and you'll be so certain that they know what they are doing. The organization knows what it is actually, working towards. So now, having said that, you look at different growth in the aspect of AI. And I know that different countries and the companies are now waking up in this regards. AI, without AI, a lot of things that some countries have achieved will not be. And I don't want to be patronizing any country specifically, but I know you and I know that, you know the current war going on and all that. You know how some countries, how they use precisions and all that. It's through the help of artificial intelligence. So though the AI has its negative aspect, but you know, for as business people that we are, we focus on the positive aspect, and that is the one that is very good for our investment. Because the negative aspect of AI, you know what it leads to. You know, within seconds, a whole nation can be destroyed. Yes, when when artificial intelligence is involved in whatever it is done. So, but then we focus on what is the good results, or what are the good results that can be gotten via AI. And you know that for sure DigiU has really focused on this. Different inventions and innovations, that DigiU has. So the aspect of the future of money, which the whole world is working towards. If I heard something today, I think I read it somewhere, that Iran wants, I don't know how true this news is, but it sounds somehow, which is not impossible. It sounds, it's reasonable. Yeah, it's not impossible. That for those that the ship that we're passing through the Hormuz Strait, that they will be charging them. The toll they'll be collecting there will be in cryptocurrency, which is to tell you the security that is in crypto. So and that's the aspect of one of the aspects of DigiU, blockchain technology, a solution that DigiU is bringing that way. One of the ways to succeed in business is to understand problems, also understand how to solve problems. So no matter what, if in as much you remain in the realm of solving problems, do not forget that it is just normal that you will be thriving. But the day you stop solving the right problems, you can be sure also that you are not going to be on top of the game. And this is what DigiU has been doing over the years. And they are improving on this every now and then, researching, looking for more and more problems of humanity to solve, looking for more and more troubles that bother people generally. And this is, and how easy, the more simpler way to do this. This is what makes any correct organization to continue to thrive and thrive well. And so if you have a company or an organization that focuses on these things that DigiU does, then I believe for sure that is the fellow that knows the way. And
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now, Pastor Lawrence.
Yeah, you're audible now. You are very much audible now. So
okay,
maybe you want to. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so as we're talking about the problems of our ecosystem, when we're talking about global ecosystem now, we're saying that there is no way you can boycott this problem unless you rely on assets. In fact, it is a well-known fact that the top 100 richest people in the world, who are not criminals, I'm not talking about politicians, I'm not talking about fraudsters, I'm talking about businessmen. Most of this business are global scale business. And so that is the asset class we are talking about. And they work in such a way that even absence of the owner, it continues to work as a system. So an asset behaves in that class. It doesn't need your sweat. It leverages on the energy of others to survive because it is a system. Coca-Cola is already a company in that stand of a system. It is working globally. You can talk about maybe Open AI. You can talk about iPhone, Apple. That's Apple in the organization. So you can talk about good instances of such organization. And now, why we are encouraging everyone to open eye in that regard is because it is not just about assets acquisition, but about ownership. You only control what you own. And that is why I highlighted for you that if you don't own an asset, you can't control anything. And you are at the mercy of the globalists. And it does affect your economy the way it affects your national economy and then your individual economy. So you can't help the matter. And if you continue surviving on just this way, I can tell you it will affect a family man in such a way that maybe he will not be able to afford the type of school he wants for his children, or maybe he may not be able to afford a kind of lifestyle he wants for himself or his family. So there's a lot of things associated with you just relying on energy kind of income or a sweat kind of income. Some people choose to call it active income, but I break it down into sweat income because it generalizes it for everybody. Because if you are a thief, God forbid, but if you're a thief, for instance, you have to sweat to earn the income. So there is no way around this. It's either you are sweating to earn income or you rely on assets to give you that income. And if you rely on assets to give you that income, there are two options. Either the asset is localized or is a globalized asset. And that is why we are talking about this DigiU as a process and as a solution, a means to an end. So as a process, you are buying into an organization that is currently at the crowdfunding stage, gearing you towards a global level of assets. DigiU currently has about 188 countries in its ecosystem, and now still counting. Talking about the asset class called DigiU, it is not just an AI organization. It is bringing about a story such as what we have with desktop and typewriter. When typewriter came, it was as if that is the height of all technology, but it was lacking something very vital, which is the software part of the computer, because it is also a computer, any machine that makes our work easier and faster, right? So it was lacking the software unit and then the internet aspect, the connectivity, where you can connect online and all that. So when the desktop came, when the laptop came, even the mobile phone, these are ways to bury the typewriter forever. That's why you seldom see it here and there in any organization, except maybe you are going to a court or something for affidavit or whatsoever. Now, I'm talking about the story of DigiU. Already we have ChatGPT in many ecosystems in the world. Nigeria is using it, several other countries are using it, and they have several billion visitors per month. So out of this, about 15 to 25% of them are subscribers. So even if it is between $20 or above per month that these people are subscribing, you imagine what that means for ChatGPT. But then there is a problem with ChatGPT. I highlighted it the other day, but because of our time, I'll just point out a little out of it. The way artificial intelligence is built is the same pattern that human being used to learn from cradle to adult age or adulthood. As a child, you learn to add 1 plus 10 because you have learned the pattern of 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 4, and thereabouts. So you understand the system of addition. So you no longer need that they should show you example of all different types of number in addition. You already understand the pattern of addition. So you can repeat it for even a number you have never added before. That is recognition of pattern. So that is how our brain functions. So our brain is not just a memory card that stores information and just no, it stores pattern. So we are able to identify such pattern whenever we see it. When it is cloudy, you say that it's about to rain. So you observe pattern. When there is sun, you say, okay, it is summer period. When it is raining, oh, you say this is a winter or thereabouts. So you observe pattern and you understand the repetition of such pattern. That is what AI is built to do, to learn pattern. And then after learning those patterns, it learns to permutate and combine such data and produce various outcomes. Now, the problem with ChatGPT is that anytime you use it, you are adding more data to the ChatGPT, thereby making it more better than yesterday. And so you are still the subscriber. So you are making it better and you are still paying for it. That is ChatGPT. Now, you already see that there is a problem because you help to build something and you still have to pay for it. Now, like I said, today we are looking at the process, the solution. Within the process, we are trying to talk about the problem. Now, DigiU has identified this as centralization. Just like fiat currency is a centralized form of currency, and Bitcoin came as a decentralized version where there is no particular person that is issuing the money, no central bank that is printing the money. You already have different validators that no longer knows each other across the world, and they are validating on daily basis, mining and getting new Bitcoin. So in the same vein, when we talk about decentralized AI, the only platform I know on earth currently giving us a model around this is DigiU. In fact, you can go to different AI as we speak right now. Is it Gemini? Is it Grok AI? Is it Meta AI? There are different AIs out there, but they all follow the centralization system. Now, DigiU, a digital version of yourself, is gearing this AI development into a form of decentralized AI. And how to achieve that is that they are coming up with a concept, a unique concept, just like software to computer makes it better than typewriter. They are coming up with this personalization of AI, whereby every pattern that the AI learns becomes my daily life. So it's learning to become a version of me. Hence the word, digital version of you, DigiU. Now you are seeing the process and you are already understanding the product, right? Now, I am trying to make you see value and make you understand why if DigiU get to the market after this IPO, it is an explosive market and why you must take advantage now before that time. You see, if you already identify Bitcoin as a gold to mine, it is probably too late to buy it because by then it is too expensive. So before the rest of the world understand the value the beauty of DigiU, mine as much as possible. By that I mean get as many shares as possible. You see, when we talk about DigiU, we're talking about something that gives you power to train AI to build a version of you. It can look like you, speak like you, it can learn every action that you do on daily basis and carry it out autonomously. In fact, it can compute all those daily activities of yours and then permutate and combine them and give out something new, but still connected to your past behavior or your past actions. Now you can understand the beauty of what we call DigiU, because you have the gadgets to do that. And this second quarter, those gadgets will start being launched out between this April and the end of June, according to the organization plan that is on ground. So, what we are simply saying is that when you have such a personal AI, it means that each time you let's say you train such AI or you feed it with data, you don't have to pay another person out there, because you are training a version of yourself and you already have the gadgets to yourself. So nobody can charge you to subscribe to the usage of such thing, because you are training it to become a version of you and you have the gadgets to operate it already. That is the AI hub. And also, the AI learns through you, through your AI glasses and other model of gadgets that DigiU is about to launch out. Not that, that is not all. We also have the Telegram, where you interact with Alpha U, and you can also train your personal AI through the Alpha Mind. So you can see that there are several means to train your own AI, and that is not all. After you have trained this AI and such pattern are stored in the AI hub, like the brain of your own AI now, you see, you can lend it out, other company can pay for it. And if you watch one of these videos that we have used to explain this thing, in a day, it's possible for you to earn $200 to $600 by leveraging on this AI hub, because organizations will rent its computing power. What we call computing power, this permutation and combination that I already explained to you that AI is able to carry out. And added more to that, your AI that looks like you, that has the same voice like you, can speak multiple language, even the ones that you can't speak. Already now, the best AI out there can speak at least 100 languages. So it's no longer a problem that your AI can work for you in several countries simultaneously. I mean, at the same time, and earn income for you at the same time. So you can see that that already is an asset in your hand. And so you cannot outwork such assets, because while it is working at several countries at the same time, you may only be confined to one geographic location. You can see that. So when you see an asset that is able to work or have supply to several, let's say, audience simultaneously, it is better to leverage on such assets than to rely on your own personal sweat. So that is number one. Remember, we said the global economy is working on capitalism, ownership. So capitalism is about ownership. So what do you own? So today you see, we have talked about all of these problems. We have highlighted the way out And we have told you how DigiU is channeling this way out, the value. So already you have seen the solution and you have seen the process. And to add more to that process is that today, if you are not yet a shareholder in DigiU, the best way you can help yourself is to acquire such shares. If you have not even registered at all, I tell you, this is the time for you to chat with anybody who invited you to this webinar. Ask them for link. In fact, right now, ask them for link. We are going to have a time to allow people to register, to do such registration and share their opinion about what packages they would like to pick, because we have packages between $500 package to $100,000 package. And that $500 package, you can pay by installments, $50 per month if you cannot afford the one-time payment. So if it is $100 per month, that's a maximum of 10 months. So that is to tell you about how you can get into DigiU ecosystem and be a shareholder. But supposing you feel like you don't want to be a owner of the shares, you only want to be a user of the products, let me quickly remind you, there are people who normally buy iPhones. Every time a new form of iPhone comes out, they buy iPhone 14, iPhone 15, down to iPhone 17. In fact, if iPhone 20 comes out today, they are ready to buy and sell the whole iPhone. But there are others who own shares in the iPhone organization, and they get profits from every time these people buy the so-called iPhone. So what should you do? Even if you want to continue buying the product, it is better to own shares in such organizations so that it is even out of your profits that you are buying the products. So that's one of the admonition I want to give to everybody tonight. Uh, okay, there is an echo with my mic. Thank you, Mr. Gerard. Let me see what to do. I think, can you hear me now? Maybe it's the network issue because I just
Yes,
had
we can hear
to.
you. But then there are
So,
questions in the comment. Just while you're doing that.
okay. Okay, let me attend to those questions. This person says, please, when will the current 0.034 shares stop? And what will be the new price? And when will it commence? Okay, good question. All right, let me just quickly log in to my DigiU back office and show you that. Actually, I will say that there are around 4 days now. But let me show you, is from the back office. You yourself, you can log in and see it. For just a minute. I'll share that and
Please, can you share your screen?
yes, I will. Just a minute. Okay, I believe we can see this. Time left until share prices increase. 4 days, 5 hours, 4 minutes, 21 seconds. You can see the seconds is counting. So that is the time left for the price to change. The current price, as you have said earlier, is 0.0034, but it's going to change soon. So what I will admonish everyone is that you should do your best to acquire this package now before the price changes. And there are some that they say, let me just buy 500 installments and later increase it after I finish this one. I would advise you, enlarge it now, because after 4 days, the price is going to change. And that means that for the same amount of money, you'll be getting lesser quantity of DigiU shares. That is what it means. So to attend to the rest of the question, this person says, what will be the new price? Well, I can't tell you the new price now. Why? Because I don't know. Because number one, I'm not the CEO. And number two, there are metrics for them to get to that price. And since we still have 4 days, there's still potential for more sales. It's possible even the CEO may not even be able to answer what the new price will be until the next 3 to 4 days before they determine that. So until when they announce, I would like to say that just expect that it will be a little more costly than this. The price actually rose from 0.0032 to 34. So it's possible it's get to 36. You understand? Or maybe more. I can't tell, because anything I say now may be correct and may be error. So let's just say that we know the price will increase. I don't know by what value. We are still getting to stage 12, but currently we are at stage 2, and we're moving to stage 3 of the bridge round. What we call bridge round is a stage of transition from this crowdfunding stage to IPO. That's initial public offering, or what we normally call launching on stock market, or launching on maybe private sales, but initial public offering. So that's just a way to explain that question. And when will it commence? Already you know the time. So I think I've responded to your question. So thank you. You said, this person, when will the current elapse and what will be the new price after? Okay, it's the same question. So thank you for that question. But now we'll try to move on to this explanation we're trying to do so as to wrap it up. So you see that I'm not just opening slide for you, because my motive today is not to tell you just about the product. All of these things I have explained, they are part of what the slide is talking about. And for me, I want you to know that the vision of even Nigeria as a country is to implement AI into our ecosystem between now and 2030. And I kid you not, Nigeria on its own cannot do it. You know why? Let me show you why. I'll show you through this PDF. So USA and American corporation control 90% of AI and GPUs. And added to that, Elon Musk, Donald Trump had already placed an embargo on products coming to Africa through NVIDIA. I'm talking about GPU motherboard. So Africa cannot place its hands on this GPU for creation and development of AI. Not only Africa, only NATO countries are able to buy or access these products as we speak. Now, NVIDIA is based in America. The only company that competes with them is Eywa. So this Eywa only produce about 5% of it. It's a Chinese company. While they may be able to sell to Nigeria, their product is substandard compared to this NVIDIA. So you can see readily that whatever we can even produce through this Eywa is not as powerful as these ones that NVIDIA provides. That is why we are talking about the fact that we need to leverage on organizations such as this. And guess what? Even DigiU itself is willing to enter into the African market space, and be able to solve this problem. Yes. Currently, DigiU is moving towards launching a program in South Africa. You have seen that broadcast already, and so it's no longer a news. So I just want you to know that this is a value before you. The earlier you jump on it, the better. The more you wait, the more costly it becomes. And by the time you actually truly realize this truth that I'm telling you, it might be too expensive by then. When Facebook came, I was among the people that was laughing them and saying Gmail is there, Yahoo Mail is there. All these people running Gmail and Yahoo Mail within our country. I don't want to call their names, but you associate them to Yahoo whatsoever. Now these people mostly use Yahoo Mail, Gmail, or Hotmail. They are already using that to communicate. Who will use Facebook? So I didn't really see the vision at the early stage. And now today, Facebook is everywhere, and a multi-billion dollar organization. So by the time you realize it, Facebook share per unit is around $638. And that was not what they started with. You can Google it. So my own advice for you is that DigiU shares now is still less than a cent. You can still acquire as many as possible. At some point in time, like it or not, DigiU share will get to $1. You know how I know that? The projection of this organization is to get to $1 trillion market capital by 2030. So if that becomes the trend, by then it is even more than $1. So if you have 1 million units of shares, you already know that you are talking about $1 million richer. And you know what that means in Naira when you calculate it. So if you are going to invest in an organization that sells globally, you cannot compare it to a local asset like buying land and all those stuff. As much as those ones are important, they are not at the same level as these shares we are talking about. Imagine you buy a piece of land back then in 2004, and you also buy Facebook shares 2004 with the same amount of money. The profit you will get on Facebook shares is far more greater than what you can compare to what you can get selling the same piece of land with the same amount of money that you bought Facebook. So that is what we are saying today. So before I hand over to Mr. Gerard, I would like to say, okay, Mr. Gerard is a bit busy. There are other leaders. I will hand over to Mr. Lawrence. Before I do that, I want to ask if you have any question at all. If you have any question, please ask. And let me quickly say that this organization has paid dividend 7 times since its inception. It started 2019, and today it has paid at least 7 times dividend. You can compare that to any other organization you currently have invested, and you see the difference. Apart from this, DigiU is launching between now, that's launching by 2028, latest January 2028. Normally, it may not even be up to that, because I already told you about the bridge round. That is the counting of 24 months that started last year, September. So 2025 September, 24 months runs through 2026 and end at 2027 September. But let's give it another space and say latest by January 2028. So we are talking about less than 2 years. You can't compare that to most of these outlets that you have invested. And this is a crowdfunding, remember. Can you get a slide presentation? Of course, you can get it. If you are part of our ecosystem, DigiU Nigeria, after this webinar, we will send it. So you can automatically get it and read through. So, but for me, my aim today is not just to show you the slide, because we'll continue using this slide for a time and more. But my aim today is to query you, to let you know that if you are still looking at DigiU as something to consider, you are missing out. Already before now, there are those who have bought privileged shares. It's a global understanding that when companies split shares, they split it into preferred shares and ordinary shares. Preferred shares give you leverage to vote, a voting right, voting capacity, and apart from that, it also has a bit more value than common shares. But then, does it mean common share doesn't have value? I'm telling you that when DigiU launches and eventually get to $1, your common share still give you the same profit. Only that privileged shares might be at a ratio of maybe 2 to 1. If a common share give you a value of 1, privileged shares might give you a value of 2 or a value of 1.5. So what we are simply saying, in other words, is that you cannot say that any one of them doesn't have value. So those who have purchased earlier than you have keyed into one advantage already. For those who are just considering DigiU, you already have an advantage in front of you. If you wait till stage 3, it will be more expensive. If you wait till stage 4, it will even be more expensive than that. Down to stage 12, the price will keep going higher. So it's now your decision. So I'll just round it up here. You say, how possible can a company not yet in stock market pay dividend? I'll tell you. That's a good question anyway. You see, currently we have 30 commercialized products. And the reason why you are surprised about this is because many of you are so used to companies that are just based on one product. Maybe they say they are building iPhone, laptop, or they are building a form of vehicle. I don't want to mention name or whatsoever. But if you are related, if you are in any way associated with any company that has to do with, how do I put it now? Okay, let me use the word venture capitalists. Sorry, I'm having issue with my network.
All right.
But I was saying, I don't want to use the word venture capitalist because it may not be that immediately clear. So let me use this word. A company that invests in other people's business and while also doing that, developing its own business. That's what we call venture capitalists. All right. An example of it is BlackRock in United States or Vanguard. So you will, when you Google the word venture capitalist, that is what they do. They invest in businesses. So BlackRock, as an example, has about 900 companies in its portfolio. So it's not just about one product. If you Google the businesses in their portfolio, most of them are not even related and they are not synergized. They are not synchronized into one product. They are different entities. So when you're talking about such organization being at crowdfunding and having businesses, both the one they themselves developed and the ones that are developed by others, you can no longer then limit them to when they get to stock market before they make profits. In fact, they are already commercialized products in our ecosystem. Right from 2019, we have DigiU. We'll be talking about such products in our next webinar because that is when we'll now be talking to you about DigiU as a product. But today, my aim is to tell you about DigiU as a process and as a solution that you may see the value. Now, by the time you now start seeing other products, it will add more value to your mind. And maybe some other leaders may speak about some of such products. But today, my own personal agenda is to ensure you see this value. And then you see other products developed within the ecosystem that are already making profits. For your information, we already have one unicorn product in our ecosystem. When we say unicorn, it is over $1 billion in market capital. So we already have a product that won award that you can Google search as we speak. It is called cross-curve metal layer. Won award in 2024, $10 million. Blockchain week in Paris. So if you Google it right now, winner of blockchain week in Paris 2024, you are going to find out cross-curve metal layer. This was developed by DigiU themselves. 2025, he also won another award in United States. Now, notice that these are NATO countries, France, United States. He won another award, $1 million. So we already have a lot of such products. In fact, as we speak, we have our AI that you can really relate with. Make a picture, generate any form of thing that you want to generate with ChatGPT. You can chat it right now on your Telegram. Just go to your Telegram, search for Alpha U. So you can chat with it and do a lot of things, even predict market price and a lot of such things. So what I'm trying to say is that we have such products that are already making rounds of profits. That is why we are able to pay dividend. So I guess you understand that now. So another question for me Please, what was the value of the last dividend paid? Okay, for the last dividend paid, you can't compare it to the previous one. The previous one was more than this last one. Why? Let me quickly answer that before I tell you about the value. This year, about 6 gadgets will be out. And let me show you that from the dashboard. Let me quickly show. You see, it suffices that I am showing you that from your question rather than me presenting it and running through. Yep, we have this now. AI tracker. If you join this webinar while we were showing the video, you would have seen the importance of this AI tracker as enumerated by the CEO. We also have the AI watch. This AI wristwatch can measure your blood pressure, your blood temperature, and specify for you your balanced diet, the type of food you should eat, the one you should avoid, and also tell you about the type of exercise that your body needs. Apart from this, it can receive internet message and alert you. It can receive information from your personal AI and tell you about the profit your AI is making for you. It can tell you about time. So you can also use it in making phone call. All of these are power-packed features within this AI wristwatch. And it is not, there is none like it out there among the AI wristwatch you have out there. Because this one now helps to generate data for your personal AI, which you can monetize. So you see, there is none like it out there. So we have AI speaker. You must have heard about Google Siri. So this one functions in a similar way. We have the AI glass. It has lenses at the side, these two sides. It has memory card feature. It has augmented reality, and it collects data for your personal AI. This is the brain of your personal AI, the AI hub. So we have smart ATM card. So these are 6 gadgets that you should expect that helps you generate your personal AI. So each gadget has its own app. Everything is unified in the DigiU Super app. Personal AI, those are the features, integrated into a decentralized AI network, local storage, you have this. Mining, validating, compute, sharing. So you have means to earn. That is one of the things you have from these gadgets. A means to an end, a means to earn. And so it is unique, and no longer can ChatGPT compete with this. Don't get me wrong. ChatGPT will remain useful, and it will remain useful for what it is, but may not be able to give you passive income. No matter how you talk about the usefulness of ChatGPT right now, it is still not at the level of passive income. You will still have to generate things yourself, get those things, and find a way to sell it or market it. But that is not the same with DigiU. So that is one of those things we are talking to you about today. So I don't know if I have answered all those questions. Let me quickly hand over this webinar to Pastor Lawrence. Pastor Lawrence, please, over to you. If you have other questions.
Thank you so much, sir. What a presentation tonight. I'm sure, fine, the network was not good at first, and it was looking as if what will happen this night. But we thank God. That was a fantastic one. Thank you very much, National. Please let the questions start coming in. I know a number, like 1 or 2 or 3 of us have asked questions, but if there are questions and you think you want us to know, to hear that right now, please unmute your mic, and let's hear from you as a way of feedback from the presentation. And I know we have other notable leaders on this very platform. Everyone is well recognized. Mr. Gerard is here, Mr. Junior. I think Mr. Bosse is also here. Others, you are all welcome. Great to see you. Your faces, everybody, that is on this call, you are all important to us. Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for participating. So please feel free to let us hear from you. Let's hear your questions or your observation. Okay, just let's have feedback. For this particular presentation tonight. So we're waiting. So while we wait, I think it's very clear on the way the webinar went tonight, talking on the process, and the DigiU as a process and the results and all that, to make your confidence level to really rise and help you appreciate the truth that DigiU is not just one of those, but is a unique organization with cut out plans. This they have been doing since 2019. So, and you can see, like the presenter said, they've paid dividends. Yes, sir. I can hear you. Go on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just checking the network. Continue, sir.
Okay, thanks, sir. So he said the dividend has been paid by DigiU like 7 times, and the 7th just happened how many months ago? I think a few months ago. Fine. We may not have other name to call it, because I understand the question the one of us asked, which is very general.
Hello.
It's not yet in the public. The IPO has not happened and all that. But that's to tell you the complaints to have in such an organization.
Hello, please.
That is okay. Go ahead.
My name is sorry, my name is Odusio Lukayode. Actually, I asked a question. I think I asked a question in the group concerning the last payment for dividends. How much was it? And I didn't get the network. Didn't allow me to get what he said. The response. And secondly, he talked about your AI. We can find it in Telegram. So I want to know the name of the AI as well.
Yes. Okay. I will stress on that.
Okay.
That as well.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for your question. Yeah. He really attempted that question, and he only that he didn't break down the specific amount of the dividend, and he made it clear that yes, DigiU, is such a credible organization and all that. But I was only trying to allude to that technically you don't want to even call it dividend per se, but that is the language that is clear, to us, to investors, and all that, because it's not yet in the IPO. It's not yet in the public. So, but you can also appreciate the fact that a company that has not gone public, and they are letting you know that we give back. Okay, just have a taste of what it looks like, and that's accountability. So I don't have the figure on my head right now as per how much it was paid, but I also got whoever had any kind of investment before that February. Was it February 17th, or when was that? Okay, that payment was done. We'll get something no matter at least, whether you want it in cash or in shares. Okay, come on, sir.
Yes, as for that price, what was paid, it was $50,000, and there are about 174,000 investors within the ecosystem. Yes, 174,000 plus. So, and you cannot directly divide this 50,000 by 74,000 people. No, you will be getting a wrong mathematics to calculate it that way. You know why? What you need to do is to divide the 50,000 by the total quantity of shares. So the total supply of shares within the DigiU ecosystem is 100 billion. 100 billion, which was why I was telling you that the projection of this organization is to get to $1 trillion market capital by 2030. So if you divide 1 trillion by 1 billion, you will get $10 per unit share. But if you divide 50,000 by 1 billion, you are going to get the value that was paid. It was very, very minimal. And I was trying to explain why. I showed you all the 6 gadgets that will be launched. So I shared that at my back office. I was trying to say that, look, those gadgets were to be released this second quarter. These gadgets you are currently seeing. And so they need fund to mass produce them. So when you talk about a company in crowdfunding that needs to generate such 6 gadgets, you can tell that they need fund. So out of the income they have made and out of the investments that they have received, they needed to produce this. And like I said earlier, DigiU is present in 188 countries. So you can tell already that that is a whooping amount of sum of money. Provided, for instance, you do the math and say, if you have to produce only this AI tracker, let's say 1,000 copies for 188 countries, that's 188,000 copies, let alone when you want to make more. So, and imagine you're talking about 6 different products. So you see, it's not a small sum of money to produce, to ship it from wherever they are coming from actually that's Novosibirsk in Russia, to produce it and distribute to wherever they are going to. Any country among those 188, you see, is a massive amount of money, fund. So that is what we are saying. So that is why they needed to reduce the dividend that was paid. And this was actually really announced. So it's not just me trying to explain it away. It was announced just exactly the way I am trying to explain to you. So you already know that why the dividend comes down this year was because they needed to mass produce. And yet, they still keep to their word and pay dividend. Some people were like, oh, this dividend is lower compared to last year. They expected more and all those stuffs. But come to think of it, if they had paid more and delayed this production, what will happen is that you will get more dividend, but you will get late to launch on stock markets, or what we call IPO. I use the word IPO instead of launch on stock market because launching on stock market is just one of the option for us. We can do a tokenized market. That is even the direction that most of the products in stock market are trying to now come back to. Tokenization of shares, where you can sell it as a token or buy it as a token. So, or private sales, where you sell to more investors that will come in on board. So as we get to stage 8 of this bridge round, DigiU shares will be on autopilot. By then, all this webinar we are doing will be facing more of government entities and all those stuffs. It won't be, our target will no longer be focused on individuals like myself and yourself. Why? Because many major capitalists will troop in by then, because all these gadgets would have been launched, several other things would have been developed, and it will attract more investors automatically. Even before this stage, a lot of other angel investors have come in. You know, I was talking to you about the 2024 award and 2025 $1 million, $10 million, and all that. So there are already existing investors that are giant within the ecosystem. And the more they invest, the more they add times 10 value to that shares. When an angel investor invests, oftentimes it is either times 5 or times 10. So if I buy as an angel investor, put in $1 million, I'm expected to cash out maybe $5 million or $10 million. So that means that the share itself will automatically increase in price. That is what it means. If you have read different organizations, you would have seen that what I'm telling you is a statement of fact. So imagine you buy a land, and whenever you want to sell it, you cannot wish to sell it the same price. That is exactly what happens when you're talking about angel investors. So talking about dividend, to wrap it up, the price, the $50,000 was shared, and the total unit of shares is 100 billion. You can do that math, but it's a lower one compared to the previous one that was paid. But we prioritize more on where we are going, not just this crowdfunding stage, sharing up. We're just using the dividend to share each other up. But the previous one, the person who got the highest payment got $7,000. The highest paid person, that was the last paid dividend. 2025 dividend was not paid. 2024 dividend was paid. Dividend was not paid 2025 because we had to move from one jurisdiction to another. We are still under Cyprus as a jurisdiction, but we also registered under British Virgin Island because of our RWA banking service, a fintech solution. You must have seen that earlier on somehow here. So fintech solution that embodies webwise venture capitalists, deposits, you have the ATM service and all those stuffs. And apart from that, just to put a hint on this, you see, our ATM service is built to function in such a way that if you are in Brazil and you want to send money to someone in Vietnam or anywhere across the world, I'm just using those two countries just to show you the extent at which this is massive. You only need to send your own money in fiat currency. DigiU organization, this RWA entity called Webwise, will do the conversion itself, convert it to USDT, and from USDT to that Vietnam fiat currency without you seeing the visible back office conversion. All you know is that within split seconds, all those things are done because there is a pool already and there's an algorithm and all those stuffs. So you can now do Forex trading via internet like this. And that's no longer limited to Monday to Friday, but Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the next Monday. And so tourism just got better. Not only that, Forex exchange just got better. Not only that, even crypto transaction just got better because now you can also trade with such fiat currency of your choice with this Webwise venture capital. And guess what? The ATM card is already functional and you can use it on your back office in Telegram as we speak. So all of those things we can do and show you. So these are things we want you to know, the value within DigiU ecosystem. And that's why I said DigiU as a product, oh, there's so many I can talk about. But if I talk about the products and I didn't talk about DigiU as a process and as a solution, you may not really get how fantastic this organization is. And now, suddenly your interest is awakened to know more about the product because we have told you about the process and the solution. So guess what? We'll do more on these products in our next webinar. But can we receive more questions? I can see one hand being raised. Mr. Idris, over to you.
Sorry, before Mr. Idris, please. Mr. Idris, just a minute or less than
yes.
that. I think let's stress on the Alpha U. The same person still talking about Alpha U, our Telegram product that functions like what it can do and all that. Maybe you want to stress that. Let me know.
Okay. the person asking question about Alpha U, what it can do. I didn't see the question anyway. Please, what was the value of the...
He uses voice. You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he wanted more light on Alpha U. What is the product
Okay.
about? You talked a bit when you were talking. You didn't do much. So that's the product actually. But you can just do a little of it.
Okay. Let me show you Alpha U live so that you see its operation yourself. I'm going to share my screen on that to that effect. Just a minute. So even because of Alpha U, I created 2 accounts. My Telegram account, this is my second one, all right? So I'll be using this because the other one is personal to me. So I just use this for educational purpose. And now you can see pictures that have been generated. Before this picture generated, let me go straight to the top. Yeah. So when you go to Telegram, just search for Alpha U. You can see this, right? Can you see my back office, Pastor Lawrence? You can see this Telegram.
Yes, yeah. We can see it. Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So this is Alpha U. You can just type Alpha U. Now, you see the bot there because it is created to operate with the bot aspect, but it is in the capacity of an AI. Why? Because it can interact with you and generate information for you. Even the one that has not been pre-programmed there, it can generate search online for you and all that. And you know that a bot cannot do to that extent. That's why I'm trying to say that it is showing the bot aspect because we are on Telegram. All right. So, and that is the only provision Telegram made available. So it is working in connection with that capacity. So when you start Alpha U, you select the language of your choice. So after which, let me scroll a little bit. So selected language, English, and Alpha U is introducing itself. I'm Alpha U, your personal digital assistant. I can create cool image based on your photos. That means you have to send some photos there. Show cryptocurrency exchange rates. Tell your horoscope and look to the future. Chat with you on any topic. Any topic. Are you doing your project research? Are you a pastor trying to generate sermon for the next day whatsoever? You are an imam. You are a lecturer. Be you any topic, any topic, any topic. You can generate it. Any topic is any topic, right? Let's start our digital journey. That's what it was telling me. So I click on let's go. And guess what? You can have random style of generating pictures. You can select style yourself. You can create an avatar. And this photo session setting can give you all that. But beyond that, let me quickly show you this as well. Okay, you can see this. Photo or video, document, poll, location, wallet. So yes, these are things you can attach, but let's click on wallets. I want you to see the beauty of what we have been talking about. You know, it looks as if I've been talking about Alpha. Let me just open wallets. So you are seeing it live yourself. And this is Alpha U products associated with wallets. And this wallet, you can see this is crypto, this is Ton. You can use Ton or you can just use any crypto of your choice. See, you can trade. So you see Notcoin, all those top gainers, top losers. You can see all those things. So you can see different network is associated with it, as you can see here. You can also see ton assets you can trade with. Now you can see how to earn all those liquidity pool earning stuff that is available, and you can see history. So this is just for teaching purpose. So that's why I usually use this. So you can transfer from Here, you can deposit, you can withdraw, you can exchange. So all of those things are there. You can get verified and all that stuff. So these are features within this wallet. And I'm trying to let you know a lot of other things that you can do with the Alpha Mind, since you asked the question. So it's now asking me, when I clicked on the photo session, so it says choose the tool to use. You can always access this menu by entering the menu command and all those stuff. So I clicked on photo session because I wanted to generate photo of myself. So I was instructed on how to generate those photos by sending picture of myself, about 10 photos of such. And you can see after sending it, it started generating. So I prompted it. I said, it should generate for me a photo. So I told it a photo in a DigiU office space, high quality photo, putting on a classic and colorful suit with a touch of burgundy and yellow trouser. Now, you see, when you are doing prompt engineering, that's another topic we can discuss outside of the day, the specific day for webinar. We can choose another random day and do training on AI prompt engineering and how to prompt it if you perhaps you need help in that area, perhaps. So when you want to prompt AI, you need to give it background. What is the background? Where are you? Where is the location? Okay, how should the picture look like? High quality photo. So I'm talking about the camera sharpness. All right. So defining it for it the environment. So putting on what? A classic and colorful suit. Still talking about the environment and now as pertaining to myself with a touch of burgundy and yellow trouser. Now, if I want my skin a little bit, lighted and all those stuff, I'll also inform it about all that. So you can see this is the response it generated for me. So now you can see I also give it another prompt, light complexion, skin tone. You can see you can prompt it the way you want and it responds to you the way you want. This is Father Christmas, Santa Claus, or whatsoever you call it. So there are different of such. So what are we trying to say? Okay, as I just select this one, I just select style and I select speaker. So, and it generated this automatically. So what are we saying? In other words, okay, as a businessman, this one. So it generates such AI this thing. So that is some of those things you can do. But this one is just about photo, right? You can generate a whole research paper. Maybe you are doing your thesis for masters. You can generate it if you know how to prompt AI. If you need to learn that on a different day, I told you we can do that. The whole, even if it is 500 pages, it can generate it for you. You only have to know how to prompt. So that is what we're saying. Prompt engineering is something else entirely. Prompt architecture is also something else entirely. Is another layer beyond prompt engineering. So if you don't know prompt architecture, you know prompt engineering, you may not be able to get the same desired results such as myself. So that is one of those things. So you can do any research work. It can generate search for you and do your work, make your work easier and faster, and even do the designing, any graphics of your choice that you want to do. This AI can do it for you. So now, you can subscribe and get more value, but that is a question for another day. And why I said it's a question for another day is because I want us to familiarize ourselves with. So look at the menu button, look at the menu option. You can do crypto, you can chat with it, prediction about horoscope, although I'm not really a fan of this because as a Christian, I don't use that. But if you have no issues with it, I mean, feel free. For the photo session, that is it. You have the crypto, the charts, there are features around it that a lot of people will use, and there are means to subscribe. So I haven't said all that. I think I have answered the question, and I want to say that
Yes.
please, Mr. Idris, if you have any question you want to ask, please go ahead and ask because of our time.
Mr. Idris can. Yes, Mr. Idris, you can please come on, boss.
Okay, if it's
Okay,
not
good evening, Mr.
okay,
Marvel. Can you hear
good
me?
evening. Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Marvelous. The
Good evening,
question
sir.
I wanted to ask is concerning the countdown for share increase.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
It's
you. Please
concerning
go
the
ahead.
countdown. This share increase that we are expecting, the share price increase that we are expecting, does it mean that the 500 package will be removed, or is it just that the share will just be increased? The amount for purchasing a unit of share will just be increased, and the other package will still remain intact. That is one of the question I want to ask. And
Okay.
concerning the Alpha U, U, I see that the thing is it um compulsory that you must send up to 10 pictures, because I see in the other AI at the same time. I don't know if that 10 picture is not up to, if it is only one picture, so it won't generate.
Okay. Thank you very much for those questions. Let me answer them one after the other. Now, concerning the DigiU share price, DigiU share price will increase definitely within the next 4 days. And regarding the $500 package, of course, it may still be there after the increase within the next 4 days. However, like I said earlier on, at stage 8 of the bridge round, maybe before we go, I will open that PDF and show you that aspect. At stage 8 of the bridge round, DigiU will be on autopilot and will no longer be concerned about individuals like myself and yourself. Of course, not like we will not attend to people, not like we will not do this webinar that we're doing, but the DigiU themselves will be enjoying trooping in of venture capitalists that are buying in more bigger packages, more bigger quantities, because at stage 8, most of these products would have already been launched. And what we are saying is not just a word of mouth, it is an existing discussion that has engaged, that DigiU has engaged many venture capitalists with. So these are strategic partners. So it is called strategic partnership. All right. So all of these things are possible from stage 8 upward. Now, before we get to that stage 8, it is possible that you no longer see $500 package, but it is still quite unlikely that you won't see the $500 package at stage 3. You may still see it, in fact, especially when the community demands for it. We may still have all that, and there may still be grace to buy the lowest of such a package, which is $500, and pay by installment of $50. But guess what? At stage 8, we are already running out of time to be giving another person a $500 package and 10-month installment. You won't have that again. You know, by now, people still have opportunity to pick and have the grace of 10 months installment and say, I'm paying by installment, I'm paying by installment, I'm paying until 10 months finishes. But at some point in time, that will no longer be available. That is why not only will the $500 at some point in time no longer be available, but also the installment plan that is available for 10 months will no longer be available at some point in time. Why? Because DigiU can no longer afford to keep waiting for people to pay their installment when they are already launching an IPO. So it is not wise to do that. So it's a no-brainer. You understand? So that, I believe, I've answered the question regarding it. So your second question, can you please remind me the second question now? Mr. Idris. Mr. Idris.
Alpha
You.
Okay, yes. Yes. Concerning the Alpha U,
Okay, yes.
you see,
Concerning the Alpha U now, you see.
Sorry, can you mute yourself, Pastor Lawrence? Thank you. So concerning Alpha U itself is different from ChatGPT, and you cannot you can't relate it. You see, for instance, we mentioned earlier that DigiU is a decentralized, the aim is to decentralize artificial intelligence. So the operation must be different from centralized artificial intelligence. So now this one wants to learn about you. And I told you earlier on that learning about you is about the pattern. So you can't learn pattern from just one picture. That is why a DigiU Alpha gives you a more picture that relates with your face more than some of these AI you have out there. I can tell you that we use some AI to try to generate our faces, and it was funny what we got. But when you use DigiU Alpha U, you get more of what. Sorry, my place is closer to a church. You may be hearing some background prayer. Just please, seldom listening to that. Just focus on my voice. Now, what I was trying to say, you see, the Alpha U itself, it gives you a generated picture that looks closer to your face than what other AI gives you. But beyond that, why you have to send those 10 picture is so that it can give you a result closer to what you look like, and also be able to understand your different facial expressions and be able to generate it. Imagine you tell Alpha U to generate a picture of you smiling or crying or doing whatsoever. It will be able to mimic some of these stuff that you have given it. So that's the essence of the 10 this thing that you are sending. So thank you very much. Mr. Olumide, over to you, please. Your question, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Marvelous.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Just continue, sir.
Mr. Marvelous. Mr. Marvelous, so in this case now, are we saying is there a possibility in the future that Alpha you can also generate the like of all those AI generated video that we are seeing? Because for now, I think Alpha is only limited to just picture generation, but there is no feature for video generation.
Yes, it will generate video. Not only will it generate video, it will focus on also content creation. So you can use it to generate content and all those stuff. It can do that. In fact, the AI tracker we are expecting will record information for you anywhere and summarize it, generate a summary of it, and it's even
Hello, Mr. Marvelous. We are no longer hearing you. Okay. So to continue, Mr. Idris, I think it's clear from what he has said so far. The Alpha U will also, we get to that point where it will be for content, creation and all that. But for now, the video aspect is not on. So you generate picture. But don't forget, Alpha U is not just for pictures generation, like he rightly said. So there are so many other things that Alpha U is used for. So and it's just for the 10 pictures we are talking about is for the AI to learn you, to understand you. By the time you send your 10 different pictures to the AI, it's able to study you, understand. You discover that Alpha U gives you an almost exact person of yourself. If you try other AIs, the resemblance will be is somehow scanty. Some of them will not even resemble you at all. Some of them will look somehow. But Alpha U does it fine. Let me give you a tip. The picture you are seeing here, the one that you are seeing now, this one with Joe Lawrence you are seeing, I created with Alpha U. And I've tried other apps as well, AIs and all that. They won't give you the exact resemblance like this. So the essence is not as if the Alpha U will not give you any, it won't generate. It will generate even if you send 2. But you cannot guarantee the look alike. It won't resemble you very well at all. So that I think that's another way to add to it. Are you back, Mr. Marvelous?
Yes, I'm back. Yes,
Okay.
and again, you need to follow the instruction that is laid down there. That's at least 10 pictures. That has been clearly stated so that the AI can really give you a good result. And when you are sending such pictures, don't send the one that's the picture is blurry, or maybe your face is dark at a dark background, or maybe you are putting on eyeglasses or cap, because that way it cannot learn the shape of your face properly, because you are putting on something that covers your face or your shape, the shape of your face and all that. So it needs one that is clear, visible enough, one that most of the time you are not really actually smiling or showing any facial expression, just the one that you are just posing and looking like your normal self. So when you send such pictures, it tends to give you more better result. But if you send something that in a way deflects from the instructions that you are given, you may be having slightly incoherent result in some cases. So that is why it's best you operate with that. And then you need to understand that Alpha U is still operating with its first model. As we are speaking now, ChatGPT is talking about ChatGPT 5. That means people have fed it more and more data and information and all those stuffs. But even with its first model, it is still outperforming some of the so-called best AI in terms of picture generation out there. But guess what? The reason why I know that AI, this Alpha U will be working in terms of video generation is because there was a time DigiU also worked with an AI entity, an AI organization called Spirit Me, and they invested with the organization. After a while, they pull out of the investment with some profits. That's Spirit Me. You must have heard us spoken about Spirit Me over time. As a venture capitalist, they can venture into even your own personal business if provided it is lucrative and all your government legal works are complete, your tax payer whatsoever and all those things. Once they can find it out and they can see that it's a global business, they can also leverage with this. And over time, if they feel like the trend is not working as such as they want, they can pull out with capital and some profits. And that is in the interest of the larger ecosystem. That is what a venture capitalist represent first. And then secondly, building AI. We have AI lab and we also have blockchain lab. So building AI and blockchain, in fact, at our next video, next webinar, we'll replay the video where if you come early, you will see the video where this AI
stuff is the AI glasses will be built for doctors to operate in the maybe surgical theater to operate the patients. Uh, Also for those working at the factory, they not only have the AI glasses, but they also have features that help the ball and socket joints to actually move and carry heavy loads and make it a lot easier. Apart from that, students can use all these AI glasses as well to learn from the teachers, even without being physically at the school. They can do virtual training at the metaverse using virtual reality glasses and still be able to see one another as well as whatsoever the teacher is teaching. So education will move to that stage where metaverse will be the next a place to do training. Of course, education has moved to Zoom meeting. You must have had institution using Zoom meeting for training, teaching their students, lecturers using that. But that is just the start of what is to come. It is moving towards a stage. In fact, already Stanford University completed a semester at the metaverse. You can Google it and read about it yourself. So what we are saying, DigiU is already gearing towards metaverse, and that is part of our aim. By 2030, you will see metaverse. Not only that, you will see IT park, data centers. So there are so many other things that are to come by 2030, and this is part of our roadmap already when we talk about the bridge round stage 12. So that is why when we're talking about venture capitalists jumping on board, there are so many things to expect. And so when you are designing how to plan for DGU, you should expect all of those things. So now, let me say this. When you are designing what to invest in DGU, you should plan based on that time, not just based on now. And that is why that time will give you the needed grid that you need now. If you are looking at now alone, you may not understand the grid that you need to do now. I don't understand the grid I need at the early stage of Bitcoin. I was part of those who knew about Bitcoin at the earliest stage of it because I'm into tech. So I knew about it, but I was like, it's just a bubble, something. It's just a bubble and it will burst over time, it will go. I don't want to, you understand? Because I fear the government more than I think the technology will work. It was the first of its kind then. So I didn't see but instead of me looking at the solution it is bringing, that is it. Now, the solution DigiU is bringing, we have already highlighted it to you, and you're already seeing the advantage it has over others. It gives everybody power to earn income, as opposed to what others are doing. They give you power to make gadget products to sell. And yes, you earn income by doing all that, but it is still indirectly. This one now, a passive income as well as the active income. You can earn both with DigiU, and that is why it wins the argument more better. And that is what we're saying. So, in a way, I'll just encourage everybody. If you have not yet uh, registered in DigiU, please kindly indicate. We want to know within this meeting. If you have registered before, you have not yet purchased shares, kindly indicate as well. We want to guide you through the whole step. That is why we're saying this. But if in case you don't want to identify yourself, we would like to say this. This is a call to action. Register tonight. Chat any of us, or if you are comfortable with the person who invited you, chat the person and let us see how to help you to get started. If you want to make that decision, we can advise you. We can advise you based on your level of income and advise you what to do. In fact, if you do it on your own, you may not get the best. And why I say this is because, you see, Sometimes people think, okay, I can just do this, I will just pick this package and I'll go and I'll be okay. But then when I got started in DigiU, my upline told me, if you are going to start at all, start with $3,000 package. I said, where am I going to see that money? He said, start with it, pay by installments. He said, even if you can't complete it, you will thank me later because you can still, one way or the other, later see the value. And then you will now tell whether you want to continue or not. Guess what? After finishing the $3,000 package, I bought more. I have times two, I have times three. Now, why am I saying this to you? I see the value already. I understand the value. Now, you may not understand fully what we are saying, but imagine you are at the early stage of Facebook, or let's even say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, the first year, they barely sold 2 bottles. The first year they launched. This same Coca-Cola you see everywhere, they barely sold 2 bottles. For the first 5 years, they struggled to sell, in fact, 100 bottles. For the first 5 years. And you will not be able to see their future as at that time. And now today, it's everywhere. In fact, the late Chief Awolowo earns approximately 300 million naira per month because he earns 1 naira for every bottle of Coca-Cola that is produced. And guess what? In Ikeja, I have this knowledge to know that they produce around 8 to 10 million bottles per day. So that's, if we say 10 million bottles per day in 30 days, which is 1 month, that's 300 million bottles. And that is automatically 300 million naira for a dead man, late Chief Awolowo. And if you are earning 5 million naira per year, you will need 60 years. 60 years to make what a dead man is making in 1 month. That is the difference between asset income and your sweat income. So leverage on assets, be a part of it. And in fact, this man, the ex-president, Olusegun Obasanjo, earns 1 naira for every MTN. And averagely, about 45 million Nigerians recharge MTN on daily basis. So 45 million Nigerians, regardless of whether maybe 100 naira recharge or 200 or 500, so that is about 45 million naira per day. So calculate it. When we talk about assets, understand it. At the initial stage, people may not understand the importance of getting on board and all those stuffs. But guess what? As much as telecommunication gives money, I want you to know that it has not done the exploit that AI has done. In fact, all the asset class that has been existing before Bitcoin, Bitcoin has outperformed them. Go and check online. Now, whatever Bitcoin has done, it took it about more than 1 decade to achieve it. AI is barely, it has been, the research has been for long, right? But it has barely unveiled, is less than 5 years now that it has just been unveiled and everything, and it's going on like that. See, what we're saying now is that what AI has done already is already at the multi-billion dollar market capital already. And by 2030, we are already expecting it, the global one, to get to about 15 trillion. 15 trillion business industry by 2030, 2035. That's the expectation. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to let you know that with the global market trend, you have to own a part of this money that is coming, or you will have to be the person paying this market that is coming. Either you own it or you be the one to pay for it. So if you look at the clothes that you are putting on, what has happened to Africa is that we have a problem of ownership. The clothes you are putting on, you don't own anything within it. I mean, the manufacturing, you only have to buy. You are a user. The food you eat on daily basis, you don't own any part of the production line. you are a user, a consumer. The house you live in, the production line of it, you don't own anything. You are a consumer. So in most cases, that is the problem we have in Africa. Now think about it. Elon Musk is not the creator of Twitter, but now he is the owner. And when the income or profit comes, it goes to the owner, not the creator. So who cares whether you know how to create anything? But if you are a owner, that is all that matters. We are running a capitalist economic system, not a creator economic system. Get the difference. And that is why you have to tell yourself asset income, not just asset that is localized, asset that is globalized. I keep on making this. That is why I used to call myself a financial advisor, although uh, in some way, oftentimes, even in the crypto space, like we used to say, not a financial advice, not this, not that, and all those stuff, because of the legal works and all those things. But now, the reason why I used to say this is because the financial advice I usually give has nothing to do directly with money. Rather, it has something to do with financial orientation. And to that effect, I'm a writer. I'm also trying to author a book that you are going to soon find out. So when I say that, I have a reason for all that. So and you're soon going to find out why I say this. It will not directly speak about money, but will directly speak about the mentality, the psychology, and all those things. So that's what I mean. So in that regard, I'm trying to let you know that if you don't key into this, wait for what happens. So, and if you are already keying into it, please, if you have capacity to increase or enlarge more, please do that. Let us round up now. The time is fast spent. In fact, I didn't even expect to spend up to this. Yes, according to Mr. Gerard, he was trying to respond to the question. Stock market is not the only possible way for us. Like I said already, we can tokenize. In fact, when you look at a company like Tesla, if you are conversant with information and news there, here and there, you will see that they are trying to tokenize their shares. Even Nvidia, so companies around USA and all those stuff are talking about tokenization of the shares as the next level. Because when you tokenize shares, you have access to market Monday to Sunday. If you don't tokenize it, it only opens Monday to Friday. You can see tokenization of shares is the way forward. So when we're talking about forex trading as well, it opens on Monday, closes on Friday. But when you tokenize all those things, in fact, that's why we're talking about WebWise as a solution. So there's a lot to open our eyes to and educate. But if we keep on talking about it, we can talk for 10 hours and we're still here. DigiU is a large ecosystem, all right? That's why we split it into different sessions. And by next webinar, we expect to talk about DigiU as a product, where we start unveiling all of these products one after the other. And just like today, we discussed about the Alpha U based on the questions of the people. So we'll talk about DigiWorld, we'll talk about the validated opportunity within the ecosystem, and we'll talk about several other ones that are already making round as well, particularly this cross curve and how to use it, generate money. In fact, there are others too that you can even use to avoid buying scam projects in the market as we speak. It will help you analyze a project, whether it is an honeypot or not. We have such products already within the DigiU ecosystem. So a lot of products that you may not already know, but they are valuable to you. So that's why we'll discuss DigiU as a product in our next webinar. Okay, you have a
Yes.
question on DigiU. Time is fast spent. I don't know if our leaders want to respond to it, but for me, I think we have been talking for 2 hours straight. And okay, should we allow it, Pastor Lawrence?
Let's just briefly. Let's be brief about it. Yes, let's allow.
Okay, you take the question. You take the question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Lumide.
Yeah. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. There is this question. I have question about DigiU product. So Mr. Marvelous was mentioning that DigiU is going to launch like about six products this later this year. So there is this question I also asked about the DigiU Hub. So my first question is that you said we are going to have DigiU glasses, that's the AI glasses. So the first question is the AI glasses automatically is it going to be will it be linked to the DigiU Hub, like the AI Hub, like whereby whatever you see in real life case, like real life, whatever you're seeing, once you put on that glass, will be recorded automatically in the AI Hub? That's the first question. Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Olumide. Okay, let's just be brief about it. Just like National Rep said, we are going to run DigiU products subsequently. This is a thing we can't even exhaust in a webinar. Okay, so but at least we'll be attempting them in subsequent webinars. But now, yes, it's going to be linked. He said that in this presentation as well when he was showing us the other time. So the AI glasses will be linked to the AI hub, and which means even as we speak, there are glasses that are not even this way, but then you can see that they are linked. You can your video and all that, whatever you see is recorded, okay, because it has memory card attached to it. So simply put, yes, they will be linked. So, thank you.
Okay.
So if you are okay with that answer, fine. But if not, no problem. So in our subsequent webinar.
Let me also add to that. You see, the
What?
AI hub is like the brain of your personal AI. As you are seeing anything with your eyeglasses, it is recording the information and sending, because it is linked online. It is using internet. It is an internet enabled eyeglasses. That means that it can relate with your phone. You can see anything and be FaceTiming on YouTube. You can maybe you are a real estate agent. You are seeing a land and the motorable space and all those stuff. You can be seeing it, and the person you are live streaming with or FaceTiming with is seeing it simultaneously at the same time. If there are no network lag, you can see at the same time that you are seeing and see all the features and all that stuff. And maybe you are teaching or doing anything you are seeing. Now, apart from that, as you are acting and carrying out those activities, the AI is learning about what you are doing, picking your voice. Maybe you are teaching, maybe you are a news reporter, for instance, and then maybe you are a lecturer. You might be even working physically as a bricklayer, and you are putting on these AI glasses. The way and pattern that you are working, you can train the AI, because as you are giving those data and keeping it, even as a doctor, a surgeon working on people, as you are seeing those things, the AI is reporting your activity, how you are performing actions and all those stuff, and then sending to your AI hub, the brain that stores the pattern of work. And then the AI learns of you and then is able to mimic you, and in such a way that it's going to mimic you with, okay, it has learned 100 pattern of how you work. It can now compute it and say, let us add A and Z together instead of A and B, or let us add A and letter S together, or let's say SBT. So it can, permutate it in several ways and still carry out the activity, so that it's looking for the best way to, carry out such activity, and you can do it autonomously. That means with or without you being there. You just have to give it the authorization to carry it out on your behalf, and that is all. So that is what we are saying. It is linked. The AI glass is linked. All the old gadgets are linked to give information to the AI hub all the 6 gadgets, they are linked into one to create one thing, your personal self. You see, you have body, you have spirit, you have soul, but you lack a digital self. So a digital self that looks like you, that talks like you, your intonation and accent. An Hausa man will say FDP instead of PDP. So that's an accent, right? So and then your intonation, maybe you have bass voice, baritone, soprano voice, whatsoever voice. You see the way you sound, the pitch of it, the vocal cord, everything like that. He mimics it and speak just like yourself, and then can now say, monitor. I mean, maintain those things and speak several languages that you cannot. And while looking like you, smiling like you, talking like you, with the same voice of yours, speaking Russian language that you yourself cannot attempt to speak. That is a plus to you because you can now make what we now call video content and speak to several countries. You understand? That is what we are saying, in other words. So this is a solution to content creators, to lecturers, to news reporters, to anybody that works online for whatsoever. So, thank you.
All right, thank you,
Hello?
thank you very
Can
much.
we wrap it up
Sorry.
now for tonight, please?
Yeah, we just have to. I think we, without much ado, we postpone every other thing to our next webinar. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Mr. Gerard, maybe you want to round up? You want to round
Yeah,
up?
yeah. Let's
Event?
just round up.
Yes. Let me close the room.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Gerard, and sorry for not calling you to speak.